नमस्कार. जय श्रीकृष्ण. श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा. Enunciating text 7, text 8 and text 9 of chapter 7. Further inquiries by Vidur of third canto status quo Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 7. ए तस्मिन् मे मनोविद्वन खिद्यते अज्ञान संकटे तन्नः पराणुद विभो कश्मलं मानसं महत्. O great and learned one, my mind is greatly illusioned by the distress of this nescience, and therefore I request you to clear it up. Such mental bewilderment as represented here by Vidur takes place for some living entities, but not for everyone. For if everyone were bewildered, there would be no possibility of a solution by higher personalities. Text 8. Shri Shuka Uvacha स इत्थं चोदितः क्षत्रा तत्त्वजिज्ञासुना मुनिः प्रत्याह भगवच चित्तः स्मयन्नीव गतस्मयः. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, O king, Maitreya, being thus agitated by inquisitiveness of Vidur, at first seemed astonished, but then he replied to him without hesitation, since he was fully God conscious. Since the great sage Maitreya was filled with God consciousness, he had no reason to be astonished at such contradictory questions by Vidur. Therefore, although as a devotee he externally expressed surprise as if he did not know how to reply to those questions, he immediately became perfectly settled and properly replied to Vidur, Yasmin vidnyate sarvam evam vidnyatam bhavati. Anyone who is a devotee of the Lord knows about the Lord to some extent, and devotional service to the Lord makes him able to know everything by the grace of the Lord. Although a devotee may apparently express himself to be ignorant, he is full of knowledge in every intricate matter. Text 9. Maitreya Uvacha Seyam Bhagavato Maya Yanna Yena Virudhyate Ishwarasya Vimuktasya Karpanyamuta Bandhanam. Shri Maitreya said, certain conditioned souls put forward the theory that the Supreme Brahma or the personality of Godhead is overcome by illusion or Maya, and at the same time they maintain that he is unconditioned. This is against all logic. Sometimes it appears that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is 100% spiritual, cannot be the cause of the illusory energy which covers the knowledge of the individual soul. But factually, there is no doubt that the illusory external energy is also part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. When Vyasdev realized the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he saw the Lord along with his external energy which covers the pure knowledge of the individual living entities. Why the external energy acts in this way may be considered as follows, as analyzed by great commentators like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Srila Jiva Goswami. Although the material illusory energy is distinct from the spiritual energy, it is one of the many energies of the Lord, and thus the material modes of nature, the mode of goodness, etc. are surely qualities of the Lord. The energy and the energetic personality of Godhead are not different, and although such energy is one with the Lord, he is never overpowered by it. Although the living entities are also parts and parcels of the Lord, they are overcome by the material energy. The inconceivable Yogam Aishwaram of the Lord, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 9.5, is misunderstood by the froggish philosophers. In order to support a theory that Narayan, the Lord himself, becomes a Daridra Narayan, a poor man, they propose that the material energy overcomes the Supreme Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, however, offers a very nice example in explanation. They say that although the sun is all light, the clouds, darkness and snowfall are all part and parcel of the sun. Without the sun, there is no possibility of the skies being overcast by clouds and darkness, nor can there be snowfall on the earth. Although life is sustained by the sun, life is also disturbed by darkness, clouds, snowfall produced by the sun. But it is also a fact that the sun itself is not overpowered by darkness, clouds and snowfall. The sun is far, far away from such disturbances. Only those who have poor fund of knowledge say that the sun is covered by a cloud or by darkness. Similarly, the Supreme Brahma or the Parabrahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always unaffected by the influence of the material energy, although it is one of his energies. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. There is no reason to assert that the Supreme Brahma is overpowered by the illusory energy. The clouds, darkness and snowfall cover only the very insignificant portion of the sun rays. Similarly, the material modes of nature may react upon the ray like living entities. It is a misfortune of the living entity, certainly not without reason, that the influence of the material energy acts on his pure consciousness and eternal bliss. This covering up of pure consciousness and eternal bliss is due to avidya karma samjna, the energy which acts on the infinitesimal living entities who misuse their minute independence. According to Vishnu Puran, Bhagavad Gita and all other Vedic literatures, the living entities are generated from the Tatastha energy of the Lord, and thus they are always the energy of the Lord and are not the energetic. The living entities are like the sun rays. Although, as explained here, there is no qualitative difference between the sun and its rays, the sun rays are sometimes overpowered by another energy of the sun, namely by clouds or by snowfall. Although the living entities are qualitatively one with the superior energy of the Lord, they have the tendency to be overpowered by the inferior material energy. In the Vedic hymns, it is said that the living entities are like the sparks of a fire. The sparks of fire also are fire, but the burning potency of the sparks is different from that of the original fire. When the sparks fly out of touch with the original fire, they come under the influence of a non-fiery atmosphere. They thus maintain the potency to be again one with the fire as sparks, but not as the original fire. The sparks can everlastingly remain with the original fire as its parts and parcels, but the moment the sparks become separated from the original fire, their misfortunes and miseries begin. The conclusion is that the Supreme Lord, the original fire, is there, but the infinitesimal sparks of fire can become overpowered by the illusory effect of Maya. It is a most ludicrous argument to say that the Supreme Lord is overpowered by his own material energy. The Lord is the master of the material energy, but the conditioned souls are in the conditioned state controlled by the material energy. That is the version of Bhagavad Gita. The froggish philosophers put forward the argument that the Supreme Lord is overpowered by the material mode of goodness, are themselves illusioned by the same material energy, although they think of themselves as liberated souls. They support their arguments by false and laborious jugglery of words, which is the gift of the same illusory energy of the Lord. But the poor froggish philosophers, due to a false sense of knowledge, cannot understand the situation. In the 6th canto, 9th chapter, 34th verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, Durava bodha iva tavayam vihara yoga yada asharano asharira idam anvekshita mata samavaya atmanaivavi kriyamanen sagunam agunah srujasi pasi harasi. Thus the demigods prayed to the Supreme Lord that although his activities are very difficult to understand, they can still be understood by those who sincerely engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The demigods admitted that although the Lord is apart from the material creation or influence, he nevertheless creates, maintains and annihilates the complete cosmic manifestation by the agency of the demigods. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.